Oh lordy, Miss Bordy, it's too hot. I'm pruning and it's hot, and I'll stop moaning. Translating in Japan. Lost in translation. So a lot of guys, when they come to Japan, they English speaking, they see this sort of slightly unique Japanglish, Japan English, whatever you might call it, a sort of mixture of Japanese and English, which doesn't make much sense. And they see it and they think, oh great, you know, I can offer my services to put it into real or proper English, and you know, I'll make a pile of money and retire happily ever after and stuff. And it doesn't work like that. What's up with that, sir? Some people from the temple passing there. What it is, I've done quite a lot of translation work, or as I call it, tidying up. Stuff's been translated from Japanese into that sort of English, but it doesn't often make a lot of sense, or it's very awkward or something. And then commonly I've been asked to like tidy it up for like a friend's company, and for a hairdresser, for lots of things, for a hairdresser, for the gardens here, the Thomas Glover, who was a Scottish guy who came to Japan in like 1850 or something, very famous. The signs around there, because they made absolutely no sense. And one thing I noticed at first, I do his work, I put a lot of work into it, and then I see the stuff printed up, so hang on a minute, that's wrong, I corrected that, and I think, am I losing the plot here? And I go back to the computer and I check what I've written, and I point it out. Like, this is what I first started doing originally. I point it out and I go this, oh, huh, you're right, huh. And they might change it, and then they might not. It was this weird thing, like they just hoped I'd sort of overlook it or forget. And then I realised what it was, that it's just, you know, it can't be too perfect, because then it's not Japanese. And I've been told that I'm nuts for saying this, or what a load of rubbish or something, but I really do believe it's true. I've done it so many times. I did a menu for a bar, a live music bar I used to go to, and there's a list of drinks that could be made with rum, cocktails or whatever. I'm not a massive drinker, so I don't really know, but anyway, but they spelt rum, ram. So I just changed all the A's to U's, so rum. Menu gets printed up, ram. I pointed it out, but I changed it. It's not just one's been overlooked, they're all A. I mean, plus rum in Japanese is ramu. It's what they call gaijin. It's like a word they've borrowed. There's not a Japanese word for rum. So why spell it ram? But I don't know, what, something has to retain its Japaneseness, even if it's just completely wrong. So now there's just obviously a lot of customers going, what's ram? They might guess it's rum, but they have to check every time. But nope, you know, it had to stay, you know, it's like don't notice too much if you're the foreigner. Just do a cursory job, or let us decide what we're going to use. Yeah, let us decide what we're going to use and what we will not, from your hopefully perfect English. I mean, I don't claim to be infallible, I'm very far from that. I have had quite a lot of books published and stuff, not that it makes me anything special, but I'm used to doing editing, copy editing, proofreading, what have you. Though, I mean, I make mistakes, but not to the extent that some, you know, I think, what, was I drunk when I did that? Then I've checked back, I thought, no, I got this all right. Why have they printed that wrong? But, so I just think it can't, to summarise this sort of thing, I just think nothing can appear to be too foreign, as it were, which is too perfect. If it's slightly sort of wrong and twisted and a bit garbled in places, that makes it good Japanese English. So once you learn that, like everything else in Japan, and you sort of play the game, a lot easier it becomes. But at first it definitely twisted my head a bit, and I think it will continue to do so for quite some time yet, for anyone, you know, English speakers coming, newbie English speakers coming to Japan. Right, I'll get off my pruning.